If you're watching this video, you're probably struggling with being able to be consistent with your goals. A lot of people fail because they are not able to be consistent with their goals and they drift around here and there and they have these big goals, they have these big dreams, but they're not being able to stay consistent with it. So a lot of people ask me, how do you stay consistent with your goals, consistent with your discipline? So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can stay consistent with your goals and how you can stay consistently disciplined. So without wasting any time, buckle up, let's get started. If you're new to this channel and you don't know who I am, I'm Abhishek. I successfully built a multiple 5-figure content agency and I've retired my parents at the age of 18 and currently I'm 20. So I've kind of achieved okay things in my life, and not so big, but okay things, So without wasting any time, let's get into our video's topic today. You see, a lot of us, we struggled with being consistent with our goals and being consistent with our dreams and our disciplines. And you're not alone. A lot of people go through it. I see a lot of my friends, they say they have these goals, they have these dreams, but when I ask them, hey, how are you doing with your goals and how are you doing with all of these things that you wanted to achieve? And they say, I'm just not being able to stay consistent with it. And they're struggling a lot with consistency, struggling a lot with discipline. And you see, the main problem for not being able to stay consistent is that a lot of people rely on motivation to stay consistent. When they feel like being consistent, they stay consistent. And when they don't feel like being consistent, they just quit and they just drift around here and there. You must not link your consistency with your feelings, with motivation, because motivation changes every now and then. You might be feeling extremely motivation by the morning, but when the evening arrives, you're already feeling really lazy. You're already feeling like sleeping around and eating a lot of junk food. I have said this so many times in my video that motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent, Self-control is permanent. If you wait to feel like being consistent to be consistent, then guess what? You're going to drift around. You're going to struggle with your consistency. You're going to struggle with achieving your goals. And no matter how many things you try, whatever you do, you're going to be stuck at the same place for the rest of your life. You can be fantastic at doing something. You can be the best singer in the world, or you can be the best content creator in the world. But if you only create content when you feel like it, if you only create content 3 days a week and the other 3 days you're chilling and eating junk food and doing whatever you want, then guess what? You're not going to achieve anything, and even though you were the best content creator in the world, you're going to be stuck at the same place and you're not going to see any results in your life. And a lot of people struggle with consistency because they focus on the wrong things. They focus on motivation, they think too big and too unrealistic, and their actions don't match their thinking, and they rely on their mood instead of relying on a proper structure. And they just overthink everything, including starting. They face this thing called analysis paralysis, where you analyze a lot, where you learn a lot, but you don't take any actions. You're just thinking, researching, studying, looking at other people, watching these videos, but you are not taking any action. And guess what? Nothing's gonna change in your life. If you just study, just take, unlimited knowledge, unlimited information, but never apply that information. One of my top clients, Coach Mark, says that information is not power. Information is only power when you are applying that information. And it is so true. You can have all the information about throwing a perfect punch, but if you never try throwing a punch, you will never be able to throw a punch. That's the same with building your business. That's the same with being disciplined. That's the same with achieving your dream body, dream finances, dream family, dream whatever your goals are. I have seen countless of my friends who were extremely great at some things, but they struggled with being consistent and they live an average life. They are the best speakers. They are the best technical people. They are the best people with computers and social media and stuff, but they just don't take any action. They just don't stay consistent with the actions. They are just relying on the emotions. They are just relying on their feelings, and they don't see any results and they don't see any changes. And they're going to be a wasted potential. They're going to think they could have been this, they could have done that, they could have achieved all of these things, but guess what? They were lazy, they were not consistent, they struggled with consistency and discipline, and they lived a mediocre life. So this is how you can actually stay consistent. Number one, lower the barrier to start. You see, we love complicating things. We love chasing perfection in everything we do. So I see a lot of people who go to the gym, who are my good friends as well, Before they go to the gym, they're like, which pre-workout do I need? Which clothes do I wear? Which shoes? And what time? They're just complicating going to the gym. When I go to the gym, I've been training for more than 2 years in the gym. And when I go to the gym, I don't even take any pre-workouts. My pre-workout is a cup of coffee. I wear the clothes that I'm wearing in my home. I don't even get any shoes. I train barefoot or just put some sleepers that's available in the gym. You have to decrease the barrier to start. You have to make it as easy as possible for yourself to start, for yourself to take action. And there's this thing called the 2-minute rule. Instead of thinking you're going to work on something for 2 hours, you can just start thinking that you're just going to work for 2 minutes and then you're going to stop. But once the 2 minutes pass, you're going to find out that you have already worked out for 2 hours. You have already worked for more than 2 hours. And this is a trick that you can use to stay more consistent and to start easier. And number 2, focus on identity, not goals. Instead of saying, I am going to be disciplined, you should start saying, I am the person who stays disciplined. I am the person who does what he's supposed to do, regardless of how I feel. Words have power. We create things as we speak. I'm a big believer on this. I'm a big believer that we create the things that we speak. Whatever we are saying, whatever we are speaking about ourselves, we are creating it. So if you say about yourself that you are this filthy loser that does not do anything, or you are this scared or weak person who cannot lift any proper weights in the gym, then guess what? You're going to stay weak for the rest of your life. But if you say about yourself that you are strong, that you can lift the weights, that you're hardworking, that you're disciplined, then you are going to be that person. You are what you speak of yourself. So start changing your identity instead of just changing your goals. That makes sense to you? So for example, let's say you want to make $1,000 a month from a new business that you're starting. So instead of thinking I want to make $1,000, instead of just saying I'm going to make $1,000, you should start saying that I am going to be the person who can get the $1,000 a month, who can create that income, who can learn those skills, who can create the value that is required to make $1,000 a month. Number 3, never break the chain. Even if progress feels small, even if it's just doing 10 push-ups, just do it. You don't have to make it perfect. You don't have to make it big. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, even if it's 30 minutes a day, just do it. Just show up. Just don't break the chain. Just take it as a streak. You remember the streak that Undertaker had in WWE? He had more than 20 streaks in WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar broke it, I guess. But you can copy that format, with your discipline and with being consistent with your goals. You can just focus on completing small tasks, just getting small things done every single day, regardless of how big you slipped off, regardless of how hard it is for you to be consistent. And you will be amazed when you take small actions, when you take small steps. You will be amazed how you can achieve the bigger things, how you can achieve the things that seemed impossible. Number 4, build your environment for success. Remove all distractions. You have to remove all distractions. You cannot grow a tree from concrete, right? You cannot grow corn from an environment, from a field of, for example, apples. If you want to grow corns, then you need a field that can grow corn. So it's the same with achieving your goals in life. If you want to achieve big things, if you want to achieve bigger goals, and if you want to have exceptional results, then you have to be able to live exceptionally. You cannot be like everyone else and expect different results being exceptional. If you want to be exceptional, you have to do things that exceptional people do. A lot of people go to parties and clubs and all of this nonsense that's out there, distractions. If you want to have a different life, you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot be the same as everyone else. So change your environment. Number 5, accept your failures. We all are humans. Even me, to be honest with you, I sometimes fail. I sometimes sleep. I sometimes, eat a bit of junk. I sometimes go out with my girl and, eat a bunch of junk and do the things that I was really not meant to do and kind of break my own routines sometimes, but it's very rare. You have to be able to forgive yourself, and you have to be able to accept that you failed and keep moving forward. You know, a lot of people I see, they have this thing that once they fail, they start to literally hate themselves, and they start to just collapse completely. Let's say, for example, they were training for 4 days straight, and for the fifth day they missed the gym. Then the sixth day they're just not gonna go to the gym, and they're just gonna sit in their house saying, I missed the gym on fourth day, so I'm not gonna go anymore. So you have to be able to forgive yourself. You have to be able to accept that sometimes you will slip, and still keep moving forward. Even take smallest steps, take smallest actions you can. And you know, all of us struggle, all of us go through different kinds of struggles. We all have problems, and it's absolutely okay to slip off. It's absolutely okay to be human, but you can slip off once, but you cannot be slipping off in the same things again and again for years. You will literally destroy your life if you just keep struggling with the same things for months, for weeks, for years, right? You have to be able to, when you fall, you have to be able to get up and keep moving, dust yourself off and just keep moving forward, regardless of the results, regardless of the situations. And the people who win are the people who never quit. The people who win are the people, regardless of the results, regardless of the situations they're in, they just keep going, they just keep moving forward. That's exactly how I built a multiple 5-figure business. When I started, I faced a lot of problems, I faced a lot of challenges, I faced a lot of backlashes and stuff like that. But I kept moving forward, and here I am today making this video and being able to share my wisdom with you. So I hope this video helped you to understand how you can stay consistent, and I hope that you will stop waiting for motivation and you will start taking action. I'm going to see you in the next video. Till then, take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.